I mean, where do you even begin with a game like that? It was just bonkers, just absolute, utter chaos from start to finish. And look, I wouldn't say either team deserved to win that game. I wouldn't say either team deserved to lose that game. But the game has been won by Chelsea due to significant mistakes that Manchester United have made and just allowing the midfield to allow so many chances. I mean, I've not checked the stats. I might check the stats now. It was another 17 shots. It was probably upwards of nearly 30 shots again. Let me have a quick look at the stats right now. 28 shots Chelsea had. So again, we've conceded multiple chances just by allowing the midfield to be overrun. But we have lost that game. And unfortunately, I think Erik ten Hag has now lost his job. And I think he has... I don't think he has to be. I would still think that he deserves more time. But I think he would now be sacked on Sunday. I think you put in that level of midfield performance against Liverpool and you're going to be blown away by a very informed Liverpool midfield. We saw it again tonight. Alexis McAllister is probably the most informed player in the Premier League right now. You allow him the time and space we gave the likes of Cole Palmer tonight and we're going to get massacred by Liverpool again. But I think the manager's head will roll for this because he has to take the blame for this. There is one other point that I'll get to shortly, but for me, the decision to play Dalot at left back was a mistake in the first place. Wan-Bissaka has played left back in the last two games. I actually would have played Wan-Bissaka at left back tonight and at right back against Brentford. I think it should have been Dalot at left back against Brentford, Wan-Bissaka at right back against Brentford, Dalot at right back tonight, Wan-Bissaka at left back tonight, because Chelsea's tricky player is Cole Palmer. You want your best one-on-one defender playing against their trickiest player. So why was Dalot the one on the left? It looked like a masterstroke when he got the assist for Bruno Fernandes's goal, but ultimately that decision has cost us the match tonight. It wasn't the only decision by Erik ten Hag that cost us the match tonight, but that was the biggest one for me, playing Diogo Dalot at left back. I didn't like it all game other than that one moment. And, you know, Cole Palmer scored a hat-trick tonight. Granted, two of them were penalties, but the majority of Chelsea's chances came down their right-hand side, our left-hand side, because Cole Palmer beat Diogo Dalot almost every single time. And yes, it was Madueke towards the end, but the same point stands. Madueke is the one that chinks in, chinks out. He's a 1v1 dribbler. Mykhailo Mudryk is kick and run. You want your more physical, your more mobile fullback to play against Mudryk and your more 1v1 defensive one to play against Cole Palmer. It made no sense to me, but that was one massive mistake that he made. But they've got to address this midfield. I just don't get it. I mean, you look at Casemiro, and I know loads and loads of people are going to talk about that. They're going to show that clip of Casemiro jogging as Nicholas Jackson just runs straight past him. You watch Casemiro and any of Chelsea's chances tonight, he did the same thing every single time. And that was just be in this area in front of the two centre-backs. He wasn't actually doing anything. He was just covering this area. And that's where Chelsea's first goal comes from. Yes, again, all the stuff on the left-hand side with Dalot not defending properly. But Casemiro has drifted into the area. He sees Conor Gallagher twice. He looks over his shoulder twice in the build-up and he sees him. He just drifts into that area, just in front of the back line, and allows the shot to come in. He doesn't close it down. He's not making himself big. He spreads his legs wide open, but doesn't like long barrier it, or doesn't make, he makes it open. It goes through his legs. Maybe Onana should be better, but I think Casemiro has to do 10 times better before Onana has to do better. Second goal, I think, is incredibly soft, and we're going to talk about Jared Gillard a lot here, because I really rate Jared Gillard. I think this season he's been the Premier League's best referee. I thought he was awful tonight. From a purely Manchester United perspective, I think he gave a lot more to Chelsea than he gave to Manchester United. I think both penalties are incredibly soft. Incredibly soft. And for me, I don't think either of them should be penalties. However, I will hold my hands up and say that once they've been given, there is no way either of them are going to be overturned. There is clear contact from Anthony on Cucurella. There is clear contact from Dalot on Madueke. Are either of them Enough contact to make the player go down? Absolutely not. Absolutely never, in my opinion. And I think that Jared Gillett has got both of those decisions wrong. However, they're not clear and obviously wrong enough for VAR to overturn them. So I will accept that the penalties have been given after they've already been awarded, but I'm not happy that they were given in the first place. The response from Anthony was incredible. Anthony did not deserve to lose tonight by any stretch of the imagination. You know, I watched the Gary Neville stick to football thing with Carragher and Keane and Wright and all that. They have Rio Ferdinand on there today. And Roy Keane and Gary Neville were speaking about how players at Manchester United react to making mistakes. Anthony made a mistake. Don't get me wrong. He made a mistake. He let Cucurella go and he's then committed himself and he's given away a penalty. The amount of players this season for Manchester United that have made a mistake and have shrunk is, well, you can't count it. It's happened so many times. But Anthony tonight decided the moment that penalty was struck in the back of the net by Cole Palmer, he was going to do everything in his power to make up for that mistake. And he was absolutely unbelievable. He did not stop running. He made countless defensive challenges. He made countless runs forward. He beat Cucurella more times than I could count. And obviously he got that incredible assist for Garnacho's third, but obviously we'll get to that. Manchester United get their first goal due to a mistake from Caicedo. Brilliant composure from Garnacho. The sort of chance he's missed a few times this season, but he took it really well. Our second goal is fantastic. Onana with the patience and the composure to hold the ball, wait for the right time to release Fernandes. Ball out wide. Garnacho stretching the play. Garnacho was fantastic as well. He played it into Dalot. This was the one moment Dalot did well. Ball into the back post. Højlund listening to Bruno Fernandes. Unselfish. I'd be interested to know what would have happened if Rashford was in that position, because I'm pretty confident Rashford would have tried to score himself. But Højlund left it. Bruno Fernandes scored. 2-2. The third goal, oh my God, it's unbelievable. Anthony again. Time on the ball. Brilliance, movement, pace down the wing. Unbelievable Trivela cross. Shocking goalkeeping from Petrovic. You know me. I love to call out goalkeepers when they're playing terrible. Terrible from Petrovic. Garnacho heads the ball in the back of the net. And it's 3-2 to Manchester United. Then Erik ten Hag makes his next mistake. And it's right towards the end of the game with about 5 minutes to go. He takes Garnacho off and puts Mason Mount on. And I don't know if that was because he promised Mason Mount minutes at Stamford Bridge because he used to play for Chelsea. But that decision is the primary reason we lost that game from the 3-2 position we were in. Because we lost Garnacho as an outlet. Every time Chelsea piled people forward, when we won that ball back, Anthony stretched them one way, Garnacho stretched them the other way. The moment Mason Mount came on, it all shifted inwards. And we couldn't get out. And that was because Erik ten Hag decided it was smarter to try and keep the ball rather than continue to push Chelsea back. We invited pressure. We lost the ball on multiple occasions in that added time. And ultimately it has resulted in us losing the ball on that side of the pitch. And then the aforementioned incident with Dalot and Madueke. Erik ten Hag's decision-making towards the end of that game has cost us that game. But not only that, if someone can highlight it to me, I will hold my hands up and I will apologise. But where did Jared Gillett get 8 minutes of added time from? Honestly, where did he get 8 minutes of added time from? When Johnny Evans got injured, he was not down for he wasn't down at all. Johnny Evans went off. Wan-Bissaka went down with a slight head injury. I counted about 2 or 3 minutes. There was then, I think, 3 periods of substitutions. So in total, for me, that's about 5 minutes of added time. Now, I think the penalty was between the 5th and 6th minute because there was an awful lot of time checking the penalty before Cole Palmer took it. So maybe that incident would have still occurred just within the allotted amount of added time that there should have been. But there wasn't. There was 8 minutes of added time, which then allowed the opportunity after Chelsea got their equaliser to push on again. Chelsea's 4th goal is possibly the worst goal we have conceded all season. Dalot initially, trying to make up for his mistake, overpiles forward, leaving the space in behind. I can't remember who it is. They play a shocking pass, but then we drive in to try and make the most of it. We end up with about 8 people forward. We lose the ball. Chelsea counter-attack. We're trying to get back. We're all over the place. They force the corner, and it goes behind. and immediately they go into their stupid little box-shaped zonal marking again. And if you pause it at the moment that Enzo Fernandez puts that ball on the corner flag, there are 4 different Manchester United players pointing at Cole Palmer, and not a single one of them wants to take responsibility. Bruno Fernandes, the captain, is the man at the front post. He should be the one going out there and dealing with it. He is the leader of the team. If he's spotted it and no one else is alert to it, he needs to go out there and deal with it. From there, every other player all over the place. Mason Mount's the only one who sort of half-heartedly tries to close him down. He tries to throw himself in the way. It's too late. What Scott McTominay's doing, I do not know. I honestly do not know. That ball is going straight down the middle of the goal. As a professional footballer, you know where that ball is going. I don't care who you are, you know where that ball is going. You know, I was never the biggest fan of David Seaman as a goalkeeper, but I always remember the commentary on one of the old FIFAs where Lee Dixon goes on about David Seaman would always tell players not to get in the way of his shots. McTominay has gone from a position where Onana can see the ball and is going to make the save and just goes like this. Just sort of shifts his body at it. If he does nothing, Onana makes a comfortable save. If McTominay's going for it, you've got to go for it. And he doesn't. It's a half-hearted lean. So it's no surprise to me that it flicks off him rather than hitting him. Not good enough from McTominay. It's 4-3. We lose the game. If top 4 or Champions League, top 5, whatever it's going to be this season, if there was any shred of hope left, even when it was 3-2, it was gone at 3-3. It is absolutely dead and buried, and we're struggling for Europa Conference League with a 4-3 defeat. And like I say, we will play Liverpool on Sunday. If we play like that, if we are as open as that, we will get obliterated, and Erik ten Hag will be sacked, in my opinion, on Sunday evening. And to be honest, I think the board would have their every single right to do so. I still think he deserves a chance for next season, but I spoke about it earlier on in the season. Tick box exercise, reasons to sack Erik ten Hag. I think the last one that's missing is get thrashed by Liverpool on Sunday. I think every single other tick box has now been ticked. And he could win the FA Cup. He won't win the FA Cup. We play like this, we'll struggle to beat Coventry because they're a relentless force going forward in terms of effort and work rate and energy. And they'll create chances in their midfield. But should we beat Coventry, it'll be another chaos game against Chelsea, or it'll be another humiliation from Man City. So for me, I can see Erik ten Hag losing his job on Sunday, and it'll be rightfully so. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Like I say, absolutely chaotic game. Some players didn't deserve to lose, in particularly Anthony and Garnacho, but chaos. Absolute chaos. I'll see you in the morning.